things that nobody else knows. Whether it's about the best, way to catch a bus to go to Peckham, or a funny old thing that happened to his grandmother just before she died. But people don't think...
Clive Bull on the LBC kept saying that until a few months ago, saying, the people who've, you said pretty much what you said, that it's always the same people, and you know pretty much what they're going to say. Whereas what he was doing until a couple of months ago was basically unpredictable. You didn't really know what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think Clive could have been a bit more unpredictable, if I was being really honest.
All right.
I thought that, Clive was my phone operator. He was, I didn't train him or anything, but he watched a lot of what I did when I was doing LBC, very early days. And I didn't talk about the news. I talked about the news as little as I could because we all know nobody's that interested in it, really.
Was that in the 80s, that?
1980 to 82 I did it, yeah.
So that was still just one LBC. There was no split frequencies then, was there?
It was in Fleet Street, so it was very difficult to avoid doing the news because we were owned by the news organisations, and when you're based in Fleet Street, there's that tremendous pressure on you to be a kind of a talking newspaper.
But what I don't get is, LBC had, the distinctive not talking about the news thing, and everybody else was talking about the news, but now they've changed to be the same as everyone else again.
Yeah.
Can you see the logic in that?
No.
So everybody seems to be homing in on that same market.
Yeah. No, it's doomed, mate. We'll get a decent talk radio station in this country in the end, and it'll be better than the American ones. But at the moment, I'm afraid management isn't very bright or brave. That's the problem. But thanks for your call. Anyway, good to talk to you. I'll talk to you again sometime. Give my regards to whichever community you're also involved in. People are quite broadcast savvy, aren't they?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Who listen to what we do and play radio on a Sunday night, which is good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We probably talk about broadcasting almost as much as Fiona's ass. Emails. We must catch up on the emails. We've said that tonight, rather than have fun on the Skype chat things, but we're not focusing on them because you're having conversations amongst yourself. But studio@playradiouk.com. We'll read out all the emails we get. That's all right.
Matt from Exeter says, great show. Sorry about his technical problems earlier. Problems with muting his computer or something. And it says, sorry if my call was shitty. I listened to you for years, finally call and crash and burn. Never mind. My excuse is, unfortunately, I suffer from ME, so my concentration isn't fantastic, but could be worse. And he ends with a joke. A little girl goes to a barber with her dad and stands next to the chair eating a cake while her dad gets her hair cut. The barber smiles at her and says, you're going to get hair on that muffin. I know, she says, I'm going to get tits too, you dirty old bastard.
Great show.
Yeah, that's all right.
Don't know.
No, Stuart, back to the laugh.
Yeah, all right.
It's not such an unmanly laugh. I'll teach you to laugh. Yeah, go on, you're on, mate.
It's not a very manly laugh, actually.
Isn't it?
It's
No.
I'd like to speak to Stuart, please.
Yep.
Hello?
Hello, Stuart. What megapixel is the web camera on, please?
I don't know, 1.3?
1.3. Oh, it doesn't matter then. I was going to ask if you could show your willy on it, but I don't think it'll come up.
It wouldn't fit.
No, but thank you.
I don't have a double-length webcam, unfortunately.
No, you don't have a throbbing end.
Yeah, that's it.
My name's Leslie, by the way.
Hi, Leslie.
May I email you privately at the Tommy Boy Try message board?
Certainly.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Look forward to it.
Oh, sounds like you pulled. Well done.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bonus.
Excellent.
Keep the wife on the toes, on it.
Yeah.
Must be that grey shirt.
Play Radio's been functioning for a year now, and doing a good job, I think. And I do love the Christmas channel, particularly. That's a fantastic idea. We should extend that, really, and get even more sort of like parochial and minute in some of the Play Radio stations. The Christmas one is fantastic. It's how many music stations have we got here now?
11. We're going to have 12 come the new year.
Yeah, you see.
Well, 13, I think. 12,
It's such a good idea, and Valentine's one, all sorts like that. But have we had an anorak yet outside? No.
Have we had
an anorak?
No.
A stalker?
No.
Have we had somebody who cycles here? Okay, and stands outside. And when you come out, says things like, although of course they wouldn't say that here because we don't have a transmitter, but a bit like Leslie. Says things like, Does the Woodingdean transmitter function in an identical fashion to the Hollingbury transmitter? And they've got photographs of every single DJ in the country in their bedroom.
I was actually going into Asda's on Saturday morning, and the local Frimley Park Hospital radio, sort of ambulance radio outside broadcast thing was outside, and I was standing waiting for the wife, and I was just holding the shopping bag, and I could see this guy hovering around the guy, the presenter bloke with the mic, and I just could spot him as an anorak a mile off. And sure enough, as soon as the music came on, how big is the transmitter between here and the hospital? And it was brilliant.
The trouble is, then after about 6 weeks of hanging around the outside broadcast units, they do a bit of what's called cable bashing, which actually just means getting a cup of tea for the jock who can't be asked to go down to the little...
Yeah.
And then... this is what's worse, it takes them 6 months to go from being an anorak to being a cable basher on OB, and then about 6 weeks to doing the drive show. That's the problem, I think, in a nutshell. Isn't it? The hardest bit is getting the cable bashing gig, as they call it. 01243 55 60 60. If you want to Skype, let's take another call, and then we'll get to some more emails, Matt. Hello, thank you for calling.
Alien existence, money existence, alien existence.
Well, it was very short, which is a good thing.
Yeah, thank goodness.
JJ says, hi team, Antiques Roadshow on the BBC opened up with a woman at the front of a queue clutching 2 shabby looking teddy bears under both her arms, and then later a shocked expression developing over her face at how much they must have been worth when the long white-haired expert opened her mouth. Just coincidence, of course, with what's in the news. The sound's obviously down as I'm listening to something far more worthy, being Tommy. Good show tonight, you lot.
Yeah, it is a good show tonight. I hate these programmes where people are asked to bring some shit from their attic. And there's an even worse one where they stand at the back of an auction because somebody's bought something at a junk shop or a car boot sale. And the man goes, well, I think this could be worth £20. And they go, oh. 20 quid? I would walk past 20 quid in the street rather than be seen bending down.
Really?
Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, but...
I'd have it.
Me too.
But for God's sake, and then this is what really annoys me, right? The auction starts. What am I bid for this very unusual piece of shit? And then they cut to them at the back with the man with the waistcoat and the annoying half-moon glasses and moustache. They always wear a bow tie, don't they?
Yeah.
Why do those tossers always wear a bow tie? Make themselves look interesting. And then suddenly you go, £25. And the couple, because it's usually a married couple, isn't it? They look at each other and they go... And it's so materialistic, isn't it? Because they never go, oh, look at this old tin. I wonder what was originally in it, and I wonder what the meaning of the gift was, and which Edwardian man gave this to an Edwardian woman who he possibly loved, and then she kept it for 60 years, and probably kept mementos in it of his love, because perhaps he died in the war, and so and then when she died, the nephew picked it up, not knowing what it was, and he used it to keep his fags in, and that's got meaning. Yeah. But they never do that. No. They go, well, it's a very interesting piece and it's in quite good shape, so I think we might get £20. Ooh. It's not, what's that remark about some people know the price of everything and the value of nothing?
Yeah.
It's a good remark, that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Certainly is.
How are we doing, Matt, on the old emails?
Earl of Oxford said, let me tell you, I've seen some vaginas that resemble a pork chop scraped off a barber's floor.
No, he hasn't.
Others have resembled a butcher's dustbin, a hatchet wound, and on one occasion, that pit that swallowed Boba Fett in Star Wars. Did any of this